Hello, hello, hello. It's a brand new day, and this is our morning connection. How you doing this morning? I'm Skip LaCour. I'm so glad you are here for our daily ritual, habit, our discipline. Just you and me checking in every single day with our game face on. I hope your game face is on, ready to take on the day. Hey, did you go to bed last night? And did you go to bed last night thinking of this one thing that you're going to do today that was going to put you ahead? Maybe it took you 5 minutes, 5 hours, but it was something that was above and beyond just getting through the day, checking off the boxes, taking care of the basic responsibilities. We got to beg, borrow, steal the willpower, focus, energy, and time to little by little chip away at that big vision that you have for your life. You know, we're a little bit older now, and got to seize every single day with that sense of urgency, right? We got more time behind us than we do in front of us. So I want you to think about that every single day. When you hear the music, you hear me come on every single day, all right, for our check-in. Mental toughness conditioning. Mental toughness that's specifically designed for older men like you and me. We got to, again, seize every day with that sense of urgency, right? So what was it for you, that one thing that you're going to take on? You know, I'll tell you, my one thing, I'll share it with you, is that, and that's going to be my message today, and my message is for you. If you're in a process, whatever it is for you, obviously I deal with a lot of guys with their health and their fitness, right? But most of the men who are attracted to this message, who watch every single day, make this a part of their day, they want to be more than just a great physical body at this age, right? They want more energy, more passion, more focus, direction, more sense of control. But they want the things to happen finally. If it hasn't happened to this point in your life, and you're a little bit older, right? We can no longer assume that if we just keep on doing what we're doing, everything's going to turn out, because that hasn't necessarily happened to the big stuff. Maybe we've accomplished some things in certain areas of life. I'm sure that's true of you, just like it's true of me. But that big picture that we want, we can't just assume that we just do more of the same. Those things are going to happen if they haven't happened at this point. So if you're at that point where in your life where you know what you want, you feel like you're pretty specific, and you're doing the work, but you just can't seem to put it together. I want to talk about that situation, that mindset. I want to talk about some mistakes that I made being in that position. And I got to make sure that I'm not, every time I try to focus on a different area to become that total package that you and I were after, have everything that we want in life, experience all those emotions, whatever goals we attach to those. All right, and I got to make sure that I don't make those mistakes as I try to crack codes, figure out patterns in other areas that I see with a lot of men who I deal with. A lot of the information, a lot of the inspiration of the topics I talk about is not just me going through the journey. I've talked to so many men just like you all the time. I really make myself available. Maybe I've talked to you. And I want to just talk about something to consider if you just can't crack through. You got everything lined up, you're focused, you're clear. Of course, there can always be a higher level to that, but you just can't seem to break through. You're better than most, but you just can't break through to that next level. I want to give you some things to think about. A lot of men who I talk to, they're going to need to get over that a little if they're ever going to crack through, crack the code, figure out the pattern. So I want to talk about that today. And again, if you're in that special group, you've done the work, you've had the vision, you've been working at it, and you just can't crack through to that next higher level. Right, so I want to make sure I always say hello to you. I'm so glad you're here joining me. I'm so flattered you're taking the time. Thank you so much for the comments that you're posting here, saying good morning to me when I do this live on Facebook at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm really considering taking my technical skills and pushing this and going on Periscope, through Twitter, and then on maybe an Instagram live while I'm doing it here on Facebook and doing YouTube at the same time. But really always pushing myself to get this message out. And it's because of you. The comments that you post down below, whether you're watching me live on a replay version on YouTube, whether you're coming over from LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter, I appreciate that. You're like me, always searching for that higher level again to become the total package. You found your home. You guys really energize me. You you really energize me. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that. So I'm always going to acknowledge you, whether I do it live right here in a moment, because you've said good morning. Really appreciate that, even though, I'm on this side of the camera, wherever you are in the world. And I know morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world, whether you're watching it live in a replay version, I'm going to always acknowledge you, whether it's live right now here on Facebook or you post a comment down on YouTube. If you're on my YouTube channel, my special Manformation YouTube channel where I do this morning connection, make sure that you're subscribed. And you can see if you're new to this morning connection and you want to get your 10, 15 minutes a day of your daily dose of mental toughness, you can see all the morning connection broadcast shows that we've done. Also, going to put this on podcast version so it gets out in podcast land. If you happen to be a podcast person, I am a podcast person too, so you might be interested in that. A lot of things going on, right? Always a higher level. I always want to serve you and a more effective and efficient way with this message. So let's see who we have joining us this morning. All right, I love it, guys. Mark, good morning to you, Mark, from Pennsylvania. So glad you are here today, sir. Denise, great having you here, Denise. Michael, hello, Michael. Good to have you here. You go, man. Denise, are you one of the very few women who are attracted to this message, or is it a joint account or somebody else's account? I'm just curious. All right. I'm very specific, as you know, Denise, how I gonna take a moment here. Yes, I'm very specific, Denise, on this message. As you know, it's really targeted to men. It's really targeted to older men with busy, productive lives who have a sense of accomplishments in other areas, but they're just looking to crack that code in the area that's in front of it to be that total package. So I'm curious, Denise. But I'm so glad you are here. Tell me what you're getting out of it. Ben is, when he joins us, he'll always, as he's watching it in the comment section, he'll take what he pulled out of it, right? I come to you just sharing these messages. We all perceive it in a different way. And I'm always curious about what you take out of it. All right. So today's message, right? You know what? This was inspired, this message. So I get up very early, right? Here we are. It's 3 o'clock or so in the morning, right? I get up, about 2:30 or so. And, my wife is amazing. She's so supportive, right? And I may work 7 days a week from early in the morning, right? But one thing that she wants of me, and I want of myself, is that I end my day at 8 o'clock at night, right? No matter what I have going, I know that's what's expected. I expect that of myself. My wife expects that of me. That's when the kids go to sleep. Very important, no matter how hard I work, that I want to end the day with my kids, right? So that's one thing. But you may have watched maybe on this morning connection or through all my social media posts how I'm launching this new 12-week fitness transformation journey for older men. I'm really excited about it. Today we are in week 10 with a 12-week fitness transformation journey that I started with a group of really driven, ambitious men wanting to take their fitness and their lives to the next level at the beginning of this year. And so we're wrapping that up. And, it's been such an amazing experience for me and the men who I've worked with. I've learned so much about you and how to become a better coach that I decided I want to do another one. I want to do another one right away because a lot of men, they missed out on it. They weren't quite sure of it. It was actually the first one that I ran, one of these 12-week fitness transformation journeys online. And so, it was even a new experience to me, how I was going to, conduct it all and everything like that. So a lot of men wanted to get on board. So I said, I'm going to do it, right? And so sending out a lot of texts. If you're interested, go to skiplacour.com/transformation. I'll put that link down below. Fill out the questionnaire. Tell me about, your journey. What is it that you're focused on? What are your challenges? What's the next level for you? Because I talk to every single man who puts through the questionnaire who's interested, right? I want to talk to you. I want to learn about your situation. I want to make sure that it's a good fit. I just don't accept everybody because, again, you may not need it. It may not meet your needs. I don't know that because everybody's coming from a different perspective, right? So I talk to every single man. I do that absolutely free when you figure out the questionnaire. Even if it's not a good fit, maybe I can answer your questions, maybe help you along your way, right? But I set you up for success. I don't just take everybody to do it. I want to make sure this works for you, right? So I just launched it. And when you fill out that question, I'll send you a text. I'll say, okay, when is the right time for you to talk? We'll talk 10, 15 minutes, maybe even longer, right? That's how we start the process, right? And so I just launched that. And I talked to quite a few men. They jumped on it right away because this is going to fill up fast, just to let you know, because I just spent 3 months promoting, talking about it, right? So this one's going to fill up fast. So you want to take action right away. And when you take action right away, I've got some special bonuses for you, like more coaching time, bonus coaching sessions with me. So my day was filled with talking to driven, ambitious men who want to take their fitness and their life to the next level yesterday. And so there was a gentleman, actually he was in my same time zone, and he called in, and I only had about 10 minutes before I had to be down there, downstairs with my family, right? And so I thought, well, he just transmitted, just submitted it, and so I was just going to call him and just let him know that let's set up a time to talk tomorrow. And he said, well, I don't have time to talk tomorrow. I go, all right. I said, how about the next day? He goes, well, I'm going to be busy. How about next week? And I was telling him, well, next week, I don't know if I'll have any spots left next week. And really, as someone who's doing this, I don't have to chase him down, right? It's like, if it's, I got guys just hammering me to talk to me today, this minute about it, right? So it just from the feel, it's not that important to him, and that's fine. That's fine. That's what I do. I always qualify the people because I want to make sure that it's the right time for them, right? It just didn't get that feel as the right time. But that wasn't my concern at the moment. Let's kind of get this story going on. The thing is, I just wanted to say, hey, let's talk tomorrow, right? Because I got to get down with my kids, right? He goes, well, he didn't want to talk tomorrow. He couldn't talk until next week, but he still wanted to talk to me, right? Because I think in his mind, look, I need these distinctions. He was really frustrated with his fitness, and he's been training a very long time, right? And so I kind of realized, okay, he didn't want to talk tomorrow. He wanted to talk next week. All right, so I need to get off the phone. I need to get down there with my kids, right? I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And then, how it came up, I was taking the time and it was going 5 minutes after, 10 minutes after, 20 minutes after, right? And because I just want to serve, if I could just talk to somebody again, look, I'll find somebody else to take that spot in the 12-week fitness transformation. I don't really care about him signing up necessarily, but I wanted to answer his question. I want to give him the clarity while he had me on the phone, but also I want to get downstairs, right? And so as I was explaining it, it was like, look, guys, I've helped out. Not only have I gone through this journey at this stage from this perspective for years and years and years, I've helped out literally hundreds and hundreds. There's no challenge. One thing I'll talk about is that everything runs in patterns. If you can't figure out something that that you're working on, okay, that you've seen other men do it, you're doing really good, but you want that next level. It's just that you haven't figured out the pattern. There's some way of thinking which is coming out and taking action that just is a little off. But you can do it. Everything runs in patterns, right? And again, I talk to someone, I know the pattern that they're missing. I know where the masses go, where like 80% go and the way they think, right? And I always talk about, the guy who makes $100,000 a year versus the guy who makes $1 million a year. They don't work that much harder. It's just doing things differently at that point. They don't work twice as many hours. There's not twice as many hours. They just know where to allocate their willpower, focus, energy, and time. And I know the pattern, right? I know the pattern of thinking that gets you stuck in that you're in the top 80%, but you can't be one of the elite, right? I know that it's a different way of thinking. It's the difference between a guy who makes $100,000 a year or $1 million a year, right? But the thing is, when you've told yourself the story over and over and over again, maybe you're successful in other areas of life, right? You're blocking those small distinctions. For your mentor, the guy who you're coming to information for, you're not hearing it, right? You're not hearing it because of the next level, because of where you're at. But you got to remember, what is your outcome? What is your outcome? And I think it reminded me in a lot of ways. I've always believed that I've worked hard. I want to get right information. I was a guy who put myself in the situation after saying I really want. I just didn't talk. I put myself in the situation to get around mentors who could help me, that they achieve what I want to achieve times 10. All right? And I put myself all the way there only not to listen, only to try to fit the narrative of what I wanted them to tell me to get the answers from my narrative, instead of just erasing, taking that leap of faith, stepping back to see if I can really hear those small distinctions that'll make the big difference. I don't want you to do that. If you're working so hard, to get to that next level, you're doing better than most, that could be the worst position to be in. Because you know you're smart, you know you've done this work, you've surpassed a lot of people, but I'm telling you, you don't have to necessarily work 10 times harder. If you go to a master at what they do, right, you respect how they live, they breathe, it's the real deal, and you just can't figure it. You gotta just somehow be able to erase, just momentarily, not give up your sense of control and certainty, right? And if you're gonna put yourself in that position, don't blow it, don't waste it. Right? Because again, with the gentleman, I told him exactly what he needs to do. I gave him some examples because I've done this over and over and over and over again. I want to get down there with my kids, right? Only to have him just talk about his situation exactly the way he's been doing it. Like, well, I just told you that, whatever, right? The point is, you're going to come into mentors. You're going to put yourself in a position by working hard, to reaching out, right? By watching all the videos on YouTube or whatever it is you do for that next level of knowledge, only to blow it, only not to hear those distinctions and just slow down your process and cause more time, the improper allocation of willpower, focus, energy, and time. More energy. Maybe you won't make it. Maybe you'll never at this age ever get to that other side, right? So I just want you to think about that. You know, if you've gone this far, that may be the one thing that may get in your way. Oh, Michael, Johnny, good to have you here. Miguel, good to have you guys here. All right, so just some things to think about. When I look back, you know, that situation, you know, I have a lot of empathy, a lot of warmth. That's why when I talk to you guys, like I said, I talk to so many of you guys for free. You guys reach out to just try to put you on your path. But to get coached by me, I got to make sure that you're in a position where you're open to those next level of distinctions that seem counterintuitive. All right, that's maybe slightly different, but it's all the difference in the world. I know, especially when it comes to this fitness, what it's going to take for you. A lot of guys say, hey, I want to join your journey. How do I join? You know, you don't just join, right? Because it's my responsibility as a coach. You know, a good leader is responsible for both sides of the conversation. You don't just tell people what you want them to know, and because you know it, that's not good enough. A true leader, a great communicator takes responsibility for both sides of the conversation to make sure it's being heard, not that they just say it. And I do that with every man who enters, who wants to apply for this 12-week fitness transformation journey. All right, so you know, that's what this is all about. I'm really all excited about it. If you want to become that total package, all right, you want to take your health, fitness, you know it's the stepping stone for even more in life, right? When you get that health, fitness, that energy level, that enthusiasm starts with your physical body, and then you're going to be able to pass that along. And you're going to be able to build upon that for the rest of your life. Relationships, business, you know, maybe you're going to quit your job and start your business. Whatever it is you want, those feelings and emotions, more freedom, more time, more energy, more sense of accomplishment, and you know fitness is going to be the foundation of the steps. So I want to help you through that process. Go to skipthecore.com/transformation. Let's just fill out that questionnaire. Let's talk. And again, I talked with a gentleman. He signed up for this 12-week fitness transformation. It's starting next month, by the way. And one of the things he was talking about is some of I won't really talk about him specifically, but some other areas of he knew there were some other areas, and we can get you focused on those because it all ties in with your fitness. It's not like we detach your fitness goals and then you achieve those and then you start working on these other areas like business, relationships, marriage, those type of things. You set them up all at the same time from the foundation. All right, so that's going to do it for our check-in day. I'm curious what you got out of it. When I come here, it's really sometimes just something that's just recently, comes to my consciousness that I believe can help you. I'm always curious what you take out of it. So send me an email at skip@skipthecore.com. Post down below. Was there something that I said, sometimes indirectly? I want to know what you're receiving, what you're taking out of it, because I want to really meet your needs. All right, so that's going to do it for today. Remember, if you're a little bit older, we've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. We've got to seize this day, take on the rest of your day with that sense of urgency. Right, and remember, everything in life runs in patterns. Some are more complex than others. Your relationships, business, starting that new business, balancing your job right now to piece together that business you eventually want to quit your job and go on to. Your relationships, no matter where they are, they're in a bad place, you want to get them to average and then to good. It's good, you want to make it even better, whatever it is. All right? Obviously, your fitness, right? Everything runs in patterns. You can figure out the pattern no matter how complex it is. Just start with that belief. Look for those answers. Again, when you get to that mentor, make sure, at least for a period of time, you suspend your current beliefs. And so you're open for those small distinctions that'll make the biggest difference in the world. Everything runs in patterns. You can figure out the pattern. I want to remind you of that. I want to remind you of who you really are and what you're all about. All right. Expect the best in yourself today. Expect the best in your efforts. Expect the best in other people. They're going to get you and the value you provide. Again, expect the best from yourself. Expect the best from your efforts. And expect the best in other people. And have a great day.